So let me ask you something. What if you could protect your business finances using the exact same kind of strategic thinking that nations use to protect their most vital resources? Well, today we're diving into something called the perimeter strategy. It's a powerful way to look at how to secure your most valuable assets all through the lens of geopolitics. You hear it in the news all the time, right? Countries making these massive, bold moves to secure their energy supply. And they justify it with one simple, powerful phrase. Oil is a strategic asset. It's the one thing that's totally non-negotiable. It's the fuel that makes literally everything else possible. And that brings us to a really critical question. Okay, if a nation's entire machine runs on oil, what's the single strategic asset that powers your machine, your business? So let's really break this down. From this point forward, we're going to treat your net profit with the exact same level of importance that a whole nation treats its oil reserves. A strategic asset is just that. It's the one critical resource that powers the entire operation. You take it away, and everything just grinds to a halt. For a country, yeah, that might be oil. But for your business, it is your net profit. That's the fuel for all your growth, all your innovation, and all your stability. Okay, so if we agree that net profit is your strategic asset, then just like any other valuable resource, there's a force out there looking to extract it. And in this way of thinking, that force is the IRS. You know, the parallels here are pretty striking when you lay them out side by side. In geopolitics, the big threat is a foreign power trying to extract your oil. In your business, the threat is IRS taxes on your net profit. The dynamic is exactly the same. You've got a valuable resource, and there's a powerful force that's looking to claim its share. Now look, the IRS isn't some kind of a villain in this story, but it is a highly efficient system. Think of it like a resource extraction agency that's been perfectly engineered to tap right into your revenue stream and legally siphon off a portion. It's a predictable, constant force acting on your most valuable resource. So if this extraction force is so predictable, why does it so often feel like a total surprise attack? Well, it's because most businesses have what you could call unguarded oil fields. Let's take a look at some of these common weak spots. And honestly, this is the absolute core of the problem. While nations build entire militaries, massive defense systems to protect their strategic assets, the average business owner leaves their most valuable resource, that net profit, almost completely unguarded. It's just out there, exposed, and vulnerable to extraction. So what do these weak spots, these vulnerabilities actually look like? Well, messy books? That's like trying to defend your territory with an inaccurate map. Lost receipts? You're basically just leaving gaping holes in your perimeter fence. Having no financial strategy at all? That's like going in a battle with no defense plan whatsoever. And data leaks? Well, that's your critical intelligence falling right into the other side's hands. And the cost of all this is just huge. Every single legitimate deduction you miss isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. It's like spilling oil straight into the ocean. It's precious, valuable stuff that is permanently lost. It's just completely wasted. So, how do we fix this? It's simple. We stop reacting and we start defending. This is the perimeter strategy, a clear three-point plan to finally protect your assets. The strategy itself is really straightforward, but it's incredibly powerful. First, you secure the asset. Second, you stop the leaks. And third, you establish command and control over the whole operation. Let's dig into each of these steps. All right, step one is all about intelligence. You simply can't defend what you can't see. So this means you have to bring every single piece of financial data inside the wire. Get every 1099, every bank statement, every single receipt, and consolidate it all into one secure system. This isn't just about getting organized, it's about creating a single source of truth for your resources, so absolutely nothing gets lost or overlooked. Step two is about conservation. Once all your intel is secure, you can start to patrol the perimeter looking for leaks. This means hunting down every single valid deduction you can find. And you gotta think beyond the obvious stuff. Are you tracking every single mile you drive for work? Every software subscription? What about the part of your home you use as an office? Each one of those is a potential leak, and plugging them makes sure that not one single drop of your resource goes to waste. And finally, step three is about strategic oversight. You wouldn't defend a critical national asset all by yourself, right? No way. You deploy specialists. This means putting a professional, your tax strategist, your accountant, in charge of actively managing the flow of your resources. It's a huge shift from just hiring someone to file your taxes once a year to actually having a command team that helps you anticipate threats and protect your asset all year long. So let's turn all this strategy into a mission. From this moment on, it's time for you to take command and control. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to fundamentally shift your thinking. You need to move from being a reactive person doing tax prep once a year because you have to becoming a proactive commander who is engaged in asset protection every single day. And think about it like this. The work from last year is done. That resource, your profit, it's already in the ground. You can't change what happened, but what you can do is refine what you've earned and protect it from this point forward. The time to act is right now. And that leaves us with one final urgent question. A new year of earning is already happening. Your resources are being generated as we speak. So the question is, how will you implement your perimeter strategy? How will you protect your most strategic asset?